So we do realize that there is a truck that is in multiple Pixar movies. So in any movie it's in, that's part of a franchise, right?
Well, that was one joke I was gonna make is that like people have like there's like the Pixar universe where in like I don't remember the exact specifics, but like in Toy Story, there's like a picture of Monsters Inc. or like someone from Monsters Inc. So this isn't there like a whole thing? It's like a whole Pixar verse.
There's a Pizza Planet truck that shows up. It's a pizza place. It's a delivery truck that shows up in multiple movies of different
Yeah.
franchises.
Yeah, there's like Easter eggs for like a bunch of different Pixar
Uh,
movies, like years before and stuff. But so technically, they're all part of the same universe. So with your first pick, Matt, you should
you
just
get
take
all of them.
all of them,
Pixar.
and then we
Pixar.
lose.
And that's the end of the episode.
Yeah,
That's
roll the
funny.
credits.
Yeah. All right. Good stuff. Nice 5-minute episode. Nice and easy. Get back on to our day jobs. Cool. All right. Well, we can get into it. Yeah. No Griffin today. He's in the process of moving. So that sounds very fun for him. There's nothing like moving. It's just quite literally the worst possible thing in the world. So it's just the three of us. I feel like the last time we did this was the Super Bowl episode right before the Super Bowl's played. Sorry, Andrew. Don't mean to bring that back up, but we got the three of us. I'm Matt, Thomas, Andrew. How you guys doing?
I feel like you did mean to bring that up, and I respect it.
Definitely meant to bring it back up. It's okay. It's fine. I've moved on. Yeah, no, doing well. And yeah, Griffin out of California by the time this episode drops, probably, and I will be the resident List Night Californian at that point.
It's true. And List Night has to have a resident Californian. So it's important that you stay there for as long as List Night exists.
If anyone screams California, it's Andrew Savin.
That's me, and I don't know if I'll stay there forever. So when I leave, if I leave, one of you is going to have to take my place.
We've got a
I guess so.
rotation.
Just a little
Don't worry
little
about it.
rotation thing going.
Yeah, there we go. I like it. Thomas, how are you?
I'm just great.
Freshly married.
You look
right?
like a married man.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to acknowledge Thomas recently married last weekend. So
I mean,
congratulations.
I was just gonna flash the ring around a couple times.
Just casually.
Recently married. Probably
Nice.
doing marriage the best of anyone ever. I'm pretty sure. So, killing it.
And Andrew got married not too long ago, right?
Not yet. Not yet. I did say I was at my in-laws, but I was using that a little facetiously because I am getting married next February.
Okay, got it. Not married yet. So 3 married, 1 engaged. Got it. All right, well, good stuff. We can get into it. So today's episode, we're doing a draft. We're drafting Pixar. I have it written down as Pixar movies. It's technically Pixar franchises because I feel like
I feel like it's
movies.
both. It's
It
both.
is kind of both. Where you're pick like you get all Toy Story, you get all the Incredibles, or you get one of Wall-E, one of Coco, or whatever.
If there's a sequel, it goes with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
The only real clarification is we decided that Lightyear is not part of Toy Story because of like 2 distinctly different like animation styles and stuff. And I also heard Lightyear wasn't even that good. So I don't know if you guys saw it. Have any thoughts on that?
I'll
Or is
save
it
my
gonna be one of your
thoughts.
picks? Maybe we'll save it.
I'll save my thoughts.
Sure. All right. Well, I have the first pick, and then Andrew second, Thomas is third. Then we're going to snake back. So it's the order of Matt. The first 4 picks go in order of NATT. Yes, Thomas.
Is your first pick going to be Lightyear?
No, it's not.
Okay, good. Just checking.
Keep us on our toes.
My first pick will be Toy Story, and I'm glad that Lightyear wasn't included in it because I heard that wasn't that good. I understand that Toy Story 4, I saw it. I don't really remember much. It wasn't memorable. I'm okay that it comes with it because the first 3 are just so good. Like if I had to choose like 101 and it had to be a movie, I don't know how I would decide between these 3. I think 1 is probably my favorite and would have been the pick, but the first 3 are just phenomenal. The third one, I mean, some gut-wrenching crying scenes. And then, yeah, well, the 4th one is like the adopted child that we don't really need to acknowledge. But the first 3 are, I think they're all like 9, 10 out of 10.
I didn't know how you felt about adopted kids. I this was, I feel like, a given. I don't know if I ever saw Toy Story 4, to be honest. I can
Not worth
say if we had done individual movies, I was prepared to pick Toy Story 2 above Toy Story. I was
respect it.
mentally prepared to make that decision. But yeah, I think this was a pretty obvious number 1. I mean, you get, I I mostly remember 3 being good. So you get 2 amazing movies. One probably also amazing, and I don't remember 4 at all, if I even saw it.
Yeah, I know that I didn't see 4, but I've heard great things about 4. People are like the first 3, the trilogy is perfect, and they should have probably just ended it there. But then they also did a great job with 4, and 5 will eventually come out. So
Yeah.
hopefully it's terrible, and that ruins this pick. But I
Years from
completely
now.
agree with this. I don't know how anything else could have gone number 1. This is like far and away the Michael Jordan of Pixar movies. So good pick.
Yeah. Yeah. Once we decided to do franchises, I mean, I probably would have chosen Toy Story 1. I respect liking Toy Story 2 better. My wife thinks 2 is better than 1. And then like I know you said you don't remember much about 3. I think 3 is just as good as Toy Story 1 and 2. I really think it's that good.
I know I saw it in theaters, like in high school or like
Yeah.
maybe early college. Like I remember seeing it and being like, "Oh my god, that was amazing." But 1 and 2 have the nostalgia, and I've seen them who knows how many times. 3 I've probably seen like 2 or 3 times. So
Yeah,
I
that's
know
fair.
it's great, but yeah, I mean, I was easy for me to to distinguish them for myself.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Cool. All right, great pick. No notes. Andrew, you're next.
Yeah. Okay. So, all right. Number 2 pick. I'm between a couple here. Like, we were talking about this. Like among Pixar, there's like the couple at the top that are like the true franchises, and then a lot of the one-offs. So there's like a couple here that I'm deciding between. I think I'm going to have to go with The Incredibles for the second pick, and I think it's because the other one that I'm considering may fall to me again. So we'll see. But The Incredibles is just like it. It's like the perfect Pixar spin on superheroes. It has great characters. It's like well received both by fans and like just critically. Like it's a good overall movie. The first one was a great movie, and then all the sequels I think sort of lived up to it. So yeah, Incredibles number 2 pick.
Yeah, I love The Incredibles. It was the first Incredibles is number 3 on my list, and Incredibles 2 was good. Definitely a drop off. But like in terms of sequels, like a pretty solid movie, I think. But the first one is so good that even if the second one sucked, this would be worth the second pick.
You're muted, Matt.
So awkward. What a bad
But
host.
idiot. My keyboard is super loud, so I was typing, so I mute myself. Anyways,
I never thought I'd say this, but I miss Griffin.
I don't, but as a corporate stooge who sits at a computer all day and tells people to get off mute, it's no problem.
yeah, it really is very embarrassing. Like this should have happened. Like this is like a 2020, 2021 thing. Like, people should know to take themselves off mute anymore. Anyways, yeah, this was number 2 on my big board. I really liked the second one, and I was worried about it because so much time passed. I feel like whenever there's that much time between movies, I'm like, okay, is this an Anchorman 2 situation where the movie's just not good? But second one was awesome. Number 2 on my big board. Yeah, solid pick.
Yeah, good pick. I can't wait for a controversial one so we can get mad at each other. Third pick of the draft. This was I almost didn't want the first pick because I would have struggled. But you guys helped me out. First pick, second oldest Pixar movie. It's Bug's Life. Bug's Life is a phenomenal film that holds up, and I mean I don't think it gets recognized enough as like one of the best, and I think it really is.
Andrew, go ahead.
Yeah, so like Bug's Life was one of my favorite movies as a kid. I don't know why it doesn't get recognized as like a top movie. I don't understand why it hasn't had a sequel. I'm not necessarily saying I want it to have one because that may ruin it, but I think the only reason like this would have fallen a little bit lower for me is like we talked about because it's just a standalone and it doesn't have like the I mean, it has name recognition. All these movies have name recognition, but like it doesn't have the impact quite as much as some of the other ones with a lot of sequels. But
Yeah,
I love Bug's Life. I'm not gonna be mad about it.
love Bug's Life.
Really, really liked it as a kid. I don't think I've seen it in probably the last 15 years. So it was number 11 on my list. Not because I don't like it. It's great. It's just because it's been the longest. Like of all the, like I say, I've only seen 12. Of all the 12, it's the movie that's been the longest since I've seen it. There was one recent one that's number 12 that if someone picks it, we'll talk about. But yeah, I mean, my memory as a kid was that it was a great movie.
I mean,
I should watch it.
I was like, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, you should watch all Pixar movies. But if you're like, oh, I could watch a Pixar movie. Bugs Life is, I think it holds up. I never understood why Ants wasn't as, well, actually, I do understand why, but when I was a kid, I never understood why Ants and Bugs Life were different. I get it now. Bugs Life is better, but like, yeah, both fantastic movies. We're not doing DreamWorks.
It
Bugs Life,
was.
great movie.
I feel like I looked this up at one point, or have we talked about it on List Night before? Were they like originally supposed to be like the same movie, and then like the producers sort of split apart, and they both decided to make a bug movie?
May if we talked about
There's
it,
like some
I
weird
don't
stuff
remember.
between
That
them because
sounds
they came out at
right.
like the same time, and it's like, why are there two animated movies about ants like at the same time?
Yeah, I don't really remember any story about it. If we have talked about it, it's probably that, or something like that. I remember Bugs Life better. It captures what Pixar movies are, like the comedy, the drama, the love, like it has everything you want.
Yeah, the quality animation.
The quality animation. Um, well, I guess I'll go to my second pick, which is a little harder for me. Like this is where it gets tough. But I think I have to go with Monsters Inc. and Monsters University. Really Monsters Inc., but Monsters University connected to it. I think one, just the fact that Monsters University is as good as it is does credit to the first one too. Like, but Monsters Inc. itself is just a funny movie. Like it's a genuine laughs I still get from it.
Yeah, I was kind of similar to Incredibles 2. I was worried about Monsters University. Not that there was as much time in between, but it's like, could you make a second story? And I like that it was a prequel and it kind of showed you how things started.
Yeah,
Yeah, I really liked. I mean, the first one's amazing. I don't think I don't even need to mention the first one. It's always the second one where you're nervous about. The second one's awesome.
Yeah, I love it. This was going to be the one that I was deciding between this and Incredibles. Like Mike and Sully to me are just two of the greatest Pixar characters there are. And it's funny. It's just a funny, like the first one, especially I'm thinking of is like very impactful in my childhood, very funny movie. And like you said, Monsters University, great too. So
I I think
good
it
job.
does such a good job of covering like styles and basis of a comedy. Like it's got the wacky slapstick, you know, uh, Mike Wazowski, Billy Crystal, and then just John Goodman Sullivan just being like not the straight guy because he's not, but like it just the balance of comedy in the movie I think is phenomenal and the way it kind of changes throughout. And I sometimes I'm like it'd be pretty cool to live in a monsters world, but whatever.
It's also just a really funny like premise. Like a
Yeah,
lot of the Pixar movies are like about a certain animal group or like whatever. Like, but Monsters Inc. Like the fact that they like work at a company that does this, and then in university they went to school for it. And, like it's just funny.
yeah,
I also
and
like. No, go ahead.
just the fact that they changed the world into laughter. I
That's
mean, it's a
true.
great lesson.
I was gonna say I like the fact how they made like a kids movie about monsters, and like I thought they did a good job of like some college dynamics, which I thought was like pretty cleverly done.
Yeah. No, thank you. It was a great pick.
All right, I'm between two again, and again I'm going to do the same thing because I think I can get my next one in the next round. My next pick, I'm going to go with Cars, the Cars franchise. It's not my like to me. I know people love Lightning McQueen and all the characters in it. It's not like for me as big a deal as some of the others, probably because the first Cars came out like when we were like a little bit older kids, like not like super young. Um, but I can recognize greatness when I see it. Like it has become like super marketable, like some of the most like merchandisable franchise there is, maybe like right up there with Toy Story. So um, it's become so iconic that I got to give it its flowers.
One of my Pixar hot takes. I only saw the first one, and I was disappointed. Because I knew how like much it blew up and just how crazy popular it was. I thought I was gonna like the first one more than I did. I was kind of disappointed, and maybe I just needed to watch it in a better mindset. But this one's even like I knew it wasn't even on my list because I knew someone was probably gonna like it better than me. Um, but yeah, it just wasn't. It just wasn't for me.
I think I think the first one's we were like 13 when it came out in 2006. I think the first one's phenomenal. I think I've seen the second one, and it's widely considered not good, and the third one's widely considered bad. Uh, but I think the first one does a phenomenal, like it's again, it's like it ticks all the boxes that a Pixar movie should. Uh, I feel like this is a good spot for it to go. I think if we were younger, it might have gone in the first round. But I think you're right, Andrew. Like we probably just missed the age gap a little bit.
I was gonna,
But like
yeah, like
it's good.
it's not like we were adults when it came out, like you said, 13, 14 years old, but like I think of like my younger like cousins and like just like that one
Yeah,
half generation below us almost was just like obsessed with cars, it seemed like.
yeah, yeah. No, I
So I'm
feel
going
like
for that
this
Gen Z
isn't.
vote, you know?
I if this had been around next round, I probably would have taken it. I definitely would have taken it. It's up there, but it's it's in a good spot.
I feel like Cars came out at like our perfect age group where we thought we were too old to like Pixar movies. We were like, well, like there's like a 2 year gap where you're like too cool. We're like, well, I don't like that kiddie shit anymore. It's like
Yeah.
that's when Cars came out. So maybe that's why I didn't like it. I thought I was too
Well,
cool for it.
I think I probably was like, oh, my little sister wants to see this. I guess I'll see it, and was like, oh, I love this.
But you had to
Wow,
play it cool on the way out.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
like, I don't know, it's fine.
yeah, yeah.
just like I used to do with chick flicks. Like, I don't want to watch these, but my sisters do. I guess I'll watch them with them. I love
Oh no, I'll go make
it.
popcorn.
Oh, I have to watch Mean Girls. Oh, dang it.
Pause it, pause it, pause it. I'm making popcorn.
I mean, for you, pause it because it's gonna be loud when I'm making the popcorn, and you might not be able to hear
Ruin your experience. Yeah, of course.
it.
All right. I have number 3 and number 4 up on my board. I didn't think that one of these would get back to me. So for my second pick, I'll take Finding Fish, Finding Nemo, Finding Dory. Obviously, Finding Nemo is what's doing the heavy lifting here. Again, worried about Finding Dory. Liked it. It wasn't nearly as good as the first one. I thought it was good. But Finding Nemo, I think, is incredible. I do think that the beginning of the movie is a little bit too traumatizing for kids. I went with like one of my friends and his little cousin, just meltdown during the first like that beginning scene. Everyone knows what I'm talking about. Like, maybe a little bit too much for kids, but still an amazing, amazing movie. Very, very quotable. Like my wife says, like, do you have your exit buddy? Probably 3 times a week, just about like when we're doing something. So yeah, I'll go
I
Finding Nemo. Yeah, my second.
Two things. I had already typed Finding Nemo for you because there was no way it was going to drop any farther.
Yeah.
My story about Finding Nemo that you said it's traumatizing is somehow my family had like I don't know if it was we got the DVD early. I don't know if it was still in theaters or something, but like for some reason we had the DVD
Bootlegged.
early, bootleg. Who knows? My dad's a pirate, whatever. But we put it on like as a family movie night in the basement. And after the opening scene, my mom said, "No, I'm boycotting Disney," and went upstairs. She said they always kill the mother. She legit was like, "I'm boycotting Disney," and was like, "They always kill the mom." And then she was like, "Look at Bambi," and that might have been the only one she thought of, and she went upstairs.
Look at Bambi. I don't need any more examples.
Yeah, I'm
No,
going.
but
Yeah, and now
yeah.
Finding Nemo.
Phenomenal. I never saw Finding Dory. Never wanted to. Finding Nemo was phenomenal. Like I said, I would have put it. It probably would have been above Cars because I think it's a little funnier. But I think it's right on the same tier of like a. It's a good movie.
Yeah, they definitely took a page out of like the non-Pixar Disney world with the killing the mom off and everything. So, but like, you know, it's traumatizing just like those other ones are. So
Yeah.
you can get over that quickly because it has great heart and it is a great movie. This was the one I was deciding between, and you know, after this discussion, I think I made the wrong choice, to be honest with you. I think I tried to play it to the crowd a little bit too much. Like I think I've seen Cars like, you know, statistical numbers and I'm like, oh damn, like that's a big player. But I should have just, you know, gone with the heart and been like Finding Nemo more
I,
iconic.
I do think for whatever reason, Cars is like maybe not more beloved, but it's definitely like bigger in I feel like marketing in general and like
Merchandising.
Pixar's.
Yeah.
But Finding Nemo, I would say, is definitely better. I mean, Finding Nemo's probably right below Monsters Inc. for me. Like it's and again, it came out like 2003, so right before we think we're too cool for these, like right where
Yeah.
the movies are aiming for. So yeah,
Finding
I
Nemo just
think
had so many good, like, funny side
yeah.
characters. Like
Oh
in
yeah,
in the in the dentist office, the tank, all the fish there,
yeah.
like the turtles,
Squirt.
everyone's
Turtles.
so
I was
good.
gonna say the
Yeah.
turtles. Yeah.
Bruce.
It's good pick.
It would have been if you're doing individual movies. It probably would have gone. I probably would have picked it third or it probably would have been my third. Yes, great pick. Thank you. I agree. My next one. So I think it's oh no, we do have an individual movie. It's my of the non like sequels, whatever. Wally is going to be my next pick. It's I think the sign that it's an amazing movie is that there's no talking for the first like hour, and at no point was I bored. That's just the sign of a movie that's very, very, very well done. Only one of them does make me happy that it kind of just like shits on humanity. I feel like that's all. That's like got to be a check in Wally's book of like this is what our future is going to be. And yeah, I just
Hasn't changed anything.
Yeah, it's true. Unfortunately, true. Maybe eventually it will. But yeah, even though it's only one movie, kind of like you with A Bug's Life, I just think it's such a good movie. I feel like it's kind of forgotten because it's not quite as popular as I feel like Up gets a little bit more shine these days. But I think Wally is a great movie.
Andrew?
Oh yeah, sorry. I was
I mean, I can
distracted.
go, but-
I was checking. No, I was checking
thought
off.
you were
I was just
ready.
making sure I was checking off my list that I didn't repeat anything. Yeah, Wally's a great movie. I haven't seen it in a long time actually. But I echo everything you said in terms of the standalone. It's really good. I think didn't it like win an Oscar like for animated movie or something like that? It was like
something.
yeah,
I don't know, but sounds right.
it's really good. I like the social commentary on it. Like you said, it's one of those movies that like doesn't need dialogue to keep you enthralled. So, yeah, I hate to keep giving you props, but you're doing a solid job here.
It won a bunch of awards, but the Academy Award and Golden Globe Award for Best Animated Feature Film. I also have not seen it in a long time. I feel like it should be higher on my list because I remember really liking it and I really like the concept of it. And like you said, Matt, the fact that like there's zero talking and it was like it wasn't a detriment to the film is huge. But the fact that I have not seen it in a long time, I think like I just couldn't pick it any higher. I would have picked it eventually, but it's just been too long.
No, that's fair. I watched it probably for the first time since I don't know, like a decade in the last a couple of years, so it's a little bit fresh in my mind.
Hmm.
Yeah.
All right, Andrew.
All right.
Bad pick,
My
Andrew.
third pick
Bad
here. Okay,
pick,
I think I'm gonna
Andrew.
go out on a limb and take a movie that I haven't seen. And it's probably
Wild
blasphemy.
move.
It's blasphemy that I
Wild
haven't
move.
seen it, but I'm doing it because I've
Let me
heard great things.
I feel
And
like I know
and
what
at this
it is.
point, it is a franchise already, and it's Inside Out. I
That's what
haven't
I was
seen
gonna
any.
guess.
Mm.
Yep.
I haven't seen any of the Inside Outs. I guess there's two, right? There's
Yeah,
two of
there's
them.
two.
Okay. I've heard great things. My sister has kids, and she's told me that they're good movies, that they're funny, and that they're interesting portrayals of emotions and stuff. And I don't know. It's just another one of those like Pixar classic good premises for animated movie, and they deliver on it.
Have
From
you
what
seen
I've heard.
both of them, Thomas?
I have, and I have opinions.
Go for it. I've also seen them, but I'm curious what you think.
I didn't like them either. I thought I got it. I think it's a good premise. It obviously not for me, but like I walked out of the first one and remember being like, I appreciate what they did, but I didn't think it was that good. And I
I
don't
thought you
know.
were saying you walked out like midway.
No,
You're
no,
like,
no. Like I remember leaving, being like I can appreciate what that was, but I didn't particularly like it, and I had zero interest in the second one. And then I think Aaron put it on one night, and I didn't fall asleep in time. And I just like I think I understand why people like it. It just I didn't really enjoy any of the main characters. especially Joy. I found Joy very annoying, and maybe that's just like my own mental state. I don't know.
You just hate Joy.
Yeah, I just hate Joy. Yeah, I don't like them.
I think I surprisingly agree with you. I thought you were going to say the opposite. I think it's incredibly clever and well done. Again, how like they portrayed emotion. I didn't. The second one felt way too similar to the first one. Where like I'm sure like if you see like the whole time of the first one, she's like trying to find her way back, and the second movie is the same thing. I think they did a really like I think both movies did a good job of capturing what they wanted to do. Like the second one being puberty and like change in high school and stuff. The first one being I mean, I've never moved as a kid, but my wife has and says that it does a good job like capturing a kid's emotions during a move and like a big life change. It's the same thing. It didn't hit for me. It didn't hit for me. But this will probably do good numbers in the polls, which is all you're going for.
You guys are putting me in a tough position where I have to defend something that I haven't seen.
Like
but
ballsy pick.
You
People do love it. People do love it.
This is like OG list night Andrew, where I'm playing to the crowd a little too much, and I'm not sticking to my true feelings. But that's fine. If I had watched Inside Out, maybe I would have learned to stick to my true feelings. I don't know. Is that something that they learned? I don't know.
Maybe.
Not really.
I wouldn't know.
I think people do love it, and I think Matt and I are on the same page. Where like, I get why, and I think it's a good premise and story and lessons, but it just didn't land for. And again, we were late 20 and early 30s when the movies came out, so like it's not. I'm not going through puberty, I hope.
I'm still waiting for it, so I couldn't relate.
Actually, I could get a little taller. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I people love it. I just don't.
It'll do well in the polls, and I respect you just admitting right off the bat that you haven't seen it. That you didn't even bother.
Seen it.
Had to risk it for the biscuit.
I don't. I would have respected more if you pretended you had seen it and just try to get over on it.
I guess I could have just
ask you questions.
Yeah,
I could have just chat GPT. Give me some.
I mean,
things to talk about for.
It.
Yeah.
All right, Thomas.
Yeah, I really thought. I got like 3 left so we're doing 4 picks. Is that what we said?
Yeah, these are your last 2.
There's only 2 left that I really know well, and Thomas is probably going to take them both right here. So
I have 3, and I think I know the 2 you know. I'm going to go with Ratatouille.
There's one
for my 3rd pick. I think Ratatouille gets a lot of attention, and for good reason. It's not. It'd be top 10 for me if I had all of them. But I think it's a really good movie. I think it's an enjoyable movie. I don't think I need to watch it often. But people love it. I love it. And I've actually seen it. So that counts for something.
My wife's favorite Pixar movie.
It's
her number 1.
It really is. And apparently some chefs said it's the most accurate like cooking movie. At least when it came out, it was the most accurate like cooking movie that had been made.
Yeah, this is a good pick. I probably would have taken it. There's no way it would have lasted to me anyways, but I haven't seen it in a long time, so I don't really remember a ton. I remember really liking it, and yeah, so solid pick.
Yeah, I like it. It probably would have been my next pick. A creative movie, like sort of artsy, artistic movie, and just like a good, underdog story spin on that. So it's a good one.
And I like the main actor's name is Linguini. I think that's good.
Just solid play on words.
Yeah.
Cool. My last pick, and I lied. I actually had 4. Now I have 3 left. One would be playing to my nieces who don't watch or listen. So I don't need to pick that one. The one is the one I think Andrew's going to pick because he thinks I'm going to pick it, but I'm not. I'm going to go with Elemental, the most recent on my list. I really like this one. I love stories about the elements in general. Like I love just the concept of the elements, so that helps. But like I thought this was a really good movie. It was a pretty straightforward story, but it covered a lot of things in like a lot of levels of emotions and overcoming this and that, and opposites working together. And it's a recent Pixar movie I genuinely enjoyed.
Never seen it. So Andrew, if you have any thoughts?
Haven't seen it either. Haven't seen it either. And I've heard good things. I hear good things about most Pixar movies. I feel like rarely are they like that Pixar movie was trash. Maybe
Yeah.
Cars 2, or Cars 3. But yeah, I don't I like Elemental, like I'm looking at the list of like the most recent ones.
Yeah.
Turning Red, Soul, Onward, most of them I haven't seen. So yeah.
So I've seen all the ones you just listed. Elemental to me is, and I haven't seen all the new Pixar movies, but it's one of the recent ones that is the least like it's the most broad audience. Like Turning Red has a direct audience for young girls. Like Soul is probably pretty broad too, but like Luca, Good Dinosaur, like those are like for little kids. It feels like Elemental, while it's for little kids, but like felt enjoyable for an adult more than just like, oh, I understood that joke, my kids don't understand.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, so I'm just gonna assume it was a bad pick.
Fair, fair.
Terrible pick. Terrible
Yeah,
pick.
terrible
This is
pick.
the first
That
time
is
I've said
the-
that today, so
That is the
I'll be
correct,
meaner.
correct reaction.
All right.
Andrew.
Yeah, my last pick here. I'm really just down to one that I know relatively well, and one or two that I've like seen once. So I'll take the one that I know a little bit better, which is Up.
Yeah.
It's it's emotional. It's sad and triumphant and happy all at once. And iconic. So yeah, like I think it deserves to be drafted. I'm not surprised that it fell to the last round here, but I'm happy to have him on my team.
Yeah. If it had not been picked, I would have been like, oh, we fucked up. But I didn't feel a need to pick it any sooner. I also haven't seen it in a long time, and I don't think I remember liking it. I don't remember loving it like a lot of people do. I did make a teacher cry once because we had to do a presentation on like sound in movies, and me and my partner did the opening scene from Up, and like so we had to watch it and then talk about it. And I don't think our professor, this was in college, heard a word we said because she was crying so hard from just watching the opening scene. So
It is an incredible opening scene.
oh yeah,
It is.
yeah,
It is so good. I mean, the first however
Did you get a
long
good
that
grade
is.
on that?
probably. But my problem with Up is like I feel like I remember parts of it, but I don't remember the whole thing. And to me that means like it was like it had its highs, but a lot of it was like weaker. Like the movie wasn't like solid all the way through.
I agree with that. There's parts that you are very forgettable and like
Yeah.
sort of like, but there's some scenes that sort of like keep the true like story arc like still great. But yeah, there's it could have been better.
It is memeable.
It is it is very memeable. Yeah, this is another one that I haven't seen in a long time. I remember liking it. I know it's a good movie. The only thing, like my biggest memory, is that opening scene, which is really just gut wrenching.
I mean, I think that's what like that's the memorable thing.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. It probably would have been my next pick, mostly because for the voters. But this next movie actually is a newish one, maybe like last decade or so, that I think is phenomenal. That I was pleasantly surprised. Coco. I think Coco is an amazing movie. I don't think it gets enough shine. I'm glad that I'm glad that I got it. I'm glad that it was in this draft, even though obviously I would have taken it at some point. But it has all the heart of a typical Pixar movie. I like that it's like the culture of it. It's I think that's cool. Like kind of giving homage to that culture and stuff. The Day of the Dead. Never mind. The pop up came up. I thought something happened. Anyways, sorry. I was worried that I broke Riverside because something just popped up on it. Anyways, yeah, Coco. I just thought it was a really, really good movie. And a solid twist at the end.
this was the movie like that my nieces would like. Like I really like Coco. I think it's downgraded for me because there was one visit to my nieces where in the span of 48 hours I watched it like 5 times.
Yeah,
So that kind of hurts it a little bit. I agree with you though. I think it's really great, and Elemental is part of this, and Turning Red is part of this. Soul is part of this. Like Pixar is making movies capturing and based on certain cultures, and as far as I'm aware, doing a good job of representation of it. I could be wrong. I'm a white male. I don't know anything. But Coco, yeah, it's a very enjoyable movie. I just need a break from it.
That's fair. Yeah, that's a lot.
Uh, yeah, I've seen Coco twice. I think, and the first time it was at so I like was half watching it at work because we had a like Day of the Dead themed like potluck for some reason. It was I don't know. This was
Do you
like
work
years
at
and
a
years ago.
daycare?
It was weird. I don't know why. It honestly might have been like take your child to work day and like they were just like go down and get food,
Put
everyone,
Coco
even
on,
though
yeah.
you don't have. I don't remember. I don't remember why it was a thing. But I was like sort of like watching it for a few minutes. I was like, all right, I should actually watch this because um, at that point I was already many years from having like sat down and watched a new Pixar movie. So yeah, it's good. It's good. It does a good job of like you said, like telling a good story and showcasing the culture and all that. So solid, solid
Yeah.
Mr. Irrelevant pick here.
Yeah.
I think I'm glad it got picked. If it had gone earlier, I'd be like, "Are you 5 years old?"
I feel the same way I felt about Up, where it should be picked, but the last round is the appropriate time for it to go.
Yeah, I feel that.
Cool. All right, we'll do a quick recap of our picks, and we'll do if you guys had anything left on your board that didn't get drafted. With the first pick, I took Toy Story. I feel like a pretty clear 101. For my next pick, and the sixth pick of the draft, shout out Thomas. I've now been tracking that. Finding Nemo, Finding Fish, whatever you want to call it. That franchise. Next up, my third pick, Wall-E, pick number 7, and then my last pick was Coco, pick number 12. Andrew,
I'm not gonna remember the pick numbers, but with my first round pick, I took The Incredibles. In the second round, I took Cars. In the third round, I took Inside Out, and in the fourth round, I took Up.
With my first pick, the fourth pick of the third. Damn it, third pick of the draft. I took Bugs Life. Fourth pick, Monsters Inc. Ninth pick, Ratatouille. 10th pick, Elemental.
and the only two that, or no, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say, like, I think we all have great lists. I do think, in hindsight, Bugs Life and Cars went too high. Those are my takes. I know that you are strong about Bugs Life, but just talking about some of these others, I just think you could have gotten it later.
Yeah.
Well, so yeah, I definitely could have, but I'll say Cars is probably too high, but like I feel like it's in the right spot on your own list. Oh, I guess I picked Martin's. Like I guess the only thing I would have picked Finding Nemo before Cars.
Yeah,
in terms of where it went, yeah.
Yeah.
Because what Cars went 5th. That feels like that for the Pixar draft. Taking out the people, that feels right.
Yeah.
The only two that I had on my list, Soul is good. It's not amazing. I thought it was good, and I was kind of disappointed by Onward. I don't know if either of you guys have seen it.
I saw it once and felt like I thought it was fine, like very fine.
It's you don't hate the time you spent watching it, but considering the cast, and I think it was one of those movies that got delayed because of COVID, so there's like so much fanfare for it. They released it on Disney Plus.
Yeah,
I was disappointed.
I've seen those two, and I've seen Turning Red, and it didn't really do anything for me. Like again, very fine. Definitely not the target audience. So,
what is Turning Red about? I have no idea.
It's about puberty.
It's like basically a girl getting her period.
Yeah, it's an allegory for puberty and her period, but she turns into a red panda.
Got it.
Like it's. I think I've only seen it once. I think like it was not bad, but like it's also about this young girl who like they're obsessed with a boy band or maybe not boy band, but like a K-pop group, like whatever. Like
at least that's relatable.
Yeah,
right.
There was a certain demographic, and like it was fine.
And you were right there in it.
I was right there.
Yeah, you're perfect. Yeah, I haven't seen that. I haven't seen Elemental. I haven't seen Luca, and I haven't seen A Good Dinosaur or Braveheart or
Brave.
I was gonna say the only one we haven't mentioned yet is Brave, and
not Brave.
I think
not the.
I know I saw Brave at one point when it came out. I couldn't tell you a thing about it other than like the basics. Like I don't remember at all. And I'm with you.
Yeah,
Never saw Luca or The Good Dinosaur.
Yeah, Brave, I know nothing about the story. I just remember like the trailers for it and stuff, it looking cool, like it looking like the Scottish Highlands and like her
Yeah.
climbing mountains and shit, and it looked cool, but I have no idea if it was a good story or not.
I will say, I think I, the first round for me personally could have been interchangeable, but those are the top three for sure.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And then, like, for the most part, I think the order things end up going is like pretty similar, other than Inside Out. Like, I'm Finding Nemo is above Cars for me, but like, I think we picked for the most part like where I believe things should have gone.
Yeah, and the only other thing I'll say is if we had done like individual movies, I'm sure probably all four Toy Stories would have been picked, which
Yeah.
is which would have affected this list quite a bit.
Yes,
Maybe the second Incredibles also.
maybe Monsters University. To be honest,
Monsters University
I really
too,
like
right?
Monsters University.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know if
and
the
then
fourth Toy Story would have been picked.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like any of
maybe
us had seen or remember the fourth one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And then Lightyear was you had mentioned at the beginning of the episode,
Yeah.
but so I guess
that
we're
got
treating that
terrible
differently.
reviews.
I don't.
See, I didn't hate it. It does not feel like a Pixar movie.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like it's a very different vibe. I feel like it. I didn't hate it. I would say it's worth a watch if you got nothing else to watch. Like it I think it's worth a watch. I wouldn't say it would have made the list though, even if you've seen it.
I forgot that it was a movie until I Googled Pixar movies. And I was like, oh, yeah, that did come out.
Yeah, I feel like they really didn't push it,
Yeah.
which is
I think
weird.
the main thing that we can all agree on is that we don't need Griffin. He just drags us down. And this was a great episode without him.
I
think
thought
you
you were going to
just gotta
say that we can all agree that Pixar is awesome. And then it just went way meaner.
I thought he was gonna say keep the main thing, but yeah, Pixar are pretty good. Griffin, fine.
Griffin,
Replaceable.
fine.
Replaceable by no one, apparently.
Yeah, we did replace him.
All right. Well, good stuff. Appreciate you guys for joining me in this Pixar movie draft. I thought you were raising your hand to ask a question. The listeners are going to be confused. Yeah, I should put subscribe, comment, all that stuff. We'll put in the graphics. That'll definitely get added. We slacking it on the reels a little bit. I'll take responsibility for that. I need to find a new filter, but Instagram, all of the different social medias, list night everywhere. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Appreciate everybody for watching, and we will catch you next time.
Matt, I don't think the four of us could have been any busier in the last 3 weeks, so it's okay. We forget.
That's fair. Thank you. I appreciate that.